Hey, back with another lick of the week and continuing in the C series. Still working out of the C major position down here at frets 1 and 2. And the first couple of ideas we discussed were rolling ideas with hammers, and hammers are pretty common as ornaments for the left hand, and especially in C licks because you kind of have a limited amount of space to work in this low C position, and there's only so many available notes for traditional style banjo. I mean, there's a lot of note choices that go outside of traditional Scruggs style, but for most Scruggs style licks, you're pretty much confined to this one area, and so it doesn't leave you a lot of room to move around. So the second string at the second fret, third string at the second fret, the first string at the third fret is another common area to add ornamentation or add notes to a lick, and pull-offs on the first string are pretty common. Let's do this simple little lick, which is actually a modified backwards roll. What's happening here is I'm pulling off from an E to a D note on the first string, second fret, playing the second string where it's being held by this C note. Then I'm borrowing this A tone again from the previous lick, second fret of the third string, and then open, and then back to the C note, back to the root on the second string. So it's kind of a modified backwards roll idea. Now let me fire the metronome up at about 100 beats a minute. And I'm going to play these as eighths. Okay, now let me speed up to normal time. Now we're playing these at 16th speed. This pull-off is actually going to be a 30-second note, so it's pretty quick. Alright, now another idea that's pretty common is actually leave the chord shape just for a short amount of time to execute a roll and then come back into the chord. Let me show you an example of that. And sometimes this is used as a turnaround from C to G back to C, but it can also be a standalone C idea. So what I'm doing here is playing the fourth string as a hammer, second fret again, open third. Now here's the transition idea that can bridge you from G to C, or just as a standalone lick. And that's 3-2-1-5 with a slide on the third, and then a pinch of a C. So let me fire the metronome up again, 100 beats. Now in real time. Now some of the previous licks we've done will meld with this lick pretty nicely, and we're going to do that in a second. Let me show you another lick that revolves around the third fret of the first string. When playing in C, a la John Hardy, get my Johns mixed up. John Hardy has a common phrase lick in it for the melody that includes this F note on the first string. So what I'm going to do is use this note from the voicing you would hear in John Hardy, and we'll mix it in with a roll pattern. And again, I'm choosing a forward roll because forward rolls are really good for drive and they're easier to place notes in, but you could very well play a backwards roll. But the trick here is to pick a pattern that you choose. It doesn't have to be the exact pattern as far as when to add this F note, but try adding this F note into an otherwise normal roll pattern, and you wind up with some pretty nice kind of suspended chord voicings. I'll leave the roll pattern up to you. I'm going to use 2-1-5 as my fundamental roll for this, but you can experiment with different rolls. But the trick is, as an exercise to develop licks in this position, try adding the F note here. A commonly heard idea for this is also an inside-out roll or a reverse roll, which is 1-2-1-5-1. So I play 1-2-1-5-1-2-1-5 and alternate adding the F note. That's another idea that's pretty common. Okay, and so let me now fire the metronome up, and we'll try that last idea. Now let me try the inside out roll, or what we call the reverse roll sometimes. Now let me play those in real time. Alright, now I'm going to play some of the previous licks from video number 1 for C, and we're going to mix all these ideas together. So that gives you a pretty good standard batch of licks that you can add to the licks that we did in the previous video. There's another lick that revolves around a descending pattern that moves in and around the chord shape, and it sounds something like this. And sometimes the first string can be included after each secondary note. But the basic pattern for most is 2-1-3-2-3-2-4, and then 2 or 1. That's your choice. So it's not really a roll as much as it is a 2-finger pattern. 2-1-3-2-3-1-4-2 or 4-1, and you can modify these notes obviously. So let me fire the metronome up, and we'll have this pattern. Now in real time. Now let me mix that pattern in with some of the other licks. So for today's video, you have this lick, some ideas adding an F note, a descending 2-finger idea, and this bridge lick that all work really well and are super effective for low position C stuff. So add this body of licks to your repertoire, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.